Have you ever been in a situation where you were in public and you had something important to say, but you kept holding yourself back for some reason or the other? You fear embarrassment or something like that. Ladies and gentlemen, what you are going through is called inhibition. And most of us are going through that. I want to tell you what is actually going on when you are experiencing these episodes. Inhibition is more or less like the suppression of our natural impulses, feelings, and expression. And often it's out of fear of rejection, embarrassment, failure, or punishment. It's like an emotional brake system. Sometimes it is helpful, and other times it's often overactive, which is not helpful. So let me tell you the different scenarios of inhibition you might have experienced. And the first one I'm going to talk about is social inhibition, where you are in a group setting. And in this group setting, you find out that you have something very valuable to say. Or let's say you have a question that is very important to you. Yes, you want to say it, but unfortunately, you find yourself hesitating and you might be afraid to come off wrongly or people will judge you. And because of that, you hold back. All along, you feel some tightening of the chest that I have to ask this question. At the same time, you hold yourself back until the meeting is over. This is called social inhibition. And I have experienced this several times in my life where I had to ask a question or I had to do something in public and I kept holding myself back. Sometimes we would be asked questions in class and I know the right answer or I know exactly what to do. Yes, I know exactly what to say, but I kept holding back. I'm afraid until someone else would lift up his or her hands and say the exact thing I wanted to say. Yes, what is going on is social inhibition. And the next thing I'm going to talk about is creative inhibition. Yes, where you have a painting idea, an idea of a song or business. Yes, something will just drop in your mind and you think, oh, I have to start this really quick because it is a good idea. But you keep holding yourself back because for some reason or the other, you are afraid. Yes, and you ask yourself that, oh, maybe this is not good enough. Yes, and you will keep pondering on it. So inhibition actually kills creativity before it even breathes. Yes, because creativity is more or less about stepping into uncomfort terrains and all that. But when you have this problem with inhibition, it's going to mess you up totally. Yes, because I remember there was a story I heard where a particular artist, yes, he brought up an amazing song and when the song was in this production stage where now they are coming to do the mixing and do the processing of the song, he kept saying, okay, this is not right, change it. This is not right, change it. And all that because he wants everything to be extremely perfect. Yes, just because of fear of embarrassment or fear of not coming out well. This inhibition kills creativity. The next thing I'm going to talk about is emotional inhibition. So let's say someone does something to you, which is not just, and you feel a sense of anger, or you feel that you have to put the person in his place or something like that by letting the person know, speaking up. Now, what happens is, most of us, we might think it's a good thing, but we keep holding ourselves back from speaking up, actually. So someone has done something, a gesture that you don't like. Instead of you to talk to the person, hey, brother, what you did is not fine. What you did, I'm not happy with it. Don't do that to me again. You keep smiling at the person and making the person comfortable instead of you putting yourself first. At the end of the day, what happens is you are not going to tell the person you are not happy with a particular gesture and it will just roll over, to just go over to the next stage. So most of the time, what happens is you feel a deep feeling of sadness, love, anger, but you suppress it. Are you getting my point? You suppress this particular feeling. So maybe you were taught that real men don't cry or you are too sensitive. All these statements are statements that actually reinforces emotional inhibition. See, emotional inhibition creates disconnection from others and from yourself because sometimes you have to be really honest with yourself and tell whoever is oppressing you that I'm not happy with this, so change it. This particular thing you are doing to me is hurting me, or I love the way this is. Just express your feelings. But emotional inhibition is going to actually create disconnection. You are not able to You are not going to be able to put yourself out there that way. The next one is relational inhibition. So this particular scenario, you love someone or care or miss them, but instead of you to take your phone to call them, just taking your phone to call them, it becomes a problem. Yes. So instead of you to call the person and say, "Hi, I miss you so much. How have you been?" and all that, you are going to inhibit yourself. You are going to keep yourself from feeling those feelings because you think that being tough means actually putting all those emotional stuff aside and embracing toughness. So you love someone, you care about someone, you miss them. You have to let them know that this is what is going on in my mind. And usually it's out of fear of rejection and fear of being vulnerable. Yes, so you don't say what you want to say or you don't do what you want to do because you are inhibiting yourself. So inhibition in relationship actually turn intimacy into distance. And at the end of the day, all that happens is I am tough. I'm not going to express. I'm waiting for this person to express it before I express it. And all those games. The fifth one is performance inhibition. This is where you freeze during public speaking, during interviews, or even while recording content. This is amazing. This is amazing. Yes. So have you found yourself in a situation where, especially those performers, let's say you are a piano player, a musician, or you are in a place where you are in a public spotlight, you have to speak to a group of people, yes, regardless of the number. And you find yourself being very timid, being so shy because you are inhibiting yourself. Like there's something in you that is telling you, make sure you don't mess up. And unfortunately, this voice is so loud that it has made you so conscious of yourself. Because you are conscious of yourself, you can't actually put yourself out there. Yes, you can't do what you want to do. So public speaking, interviews and all that, you're going to find yourself inhibiting yourself all the time. That is the reason why many people will go to interviews and all that. And they don't, even if they have the right answer, they don't feel that they have to put themselves out there strongly or confidently just because they are not sure. So it communicates to people that, oh, this person is not really sure of what he's doing or something like that. Yes. And usually it's not because the person is unprepared. It's just because the person has a subconscious belief that they are afraid to be seen. So they don't want to actually put themselves out there because, okay, what if I speak and I make a mistake? I stammer in the course of my delivery or everyone will laugh at me. So they tend to have this kind of, they are living in shells. Yes. So this performance inhibition, what it does is it disguises itself as nervousness. It disguises itself as nervousness. So you find yourself hesitating, like you are just fidgeting all around you. You are so nervous. Not because you don't know what you want to see. You definitely know what you want to see. By the end of the day, you find yourself being so nervous, like timid, shivering here and there. Not because you are sick, just because you have to go and stand in front of a group of people and deliver your idea, deliver whatever you have on your mind. The other one is self-inhibition in decision making. Let's say you want to take a bold step, you want to move, you want to quit something, you want to pivot to the next stage, anything at all, and you keep telling yourself no, you pull back. This is most times regarded as paralysis. Yes, you become paralyzed by analysis. So sometimes when it gets to the decision stage, especially when there are so many options and at the same time, they fear the repercussions, the repercussions of their action. So they keep holding themselves back. So let's say you are in an abusive work environment and you know clearly that this particular work, I have to stop and move to the next thing. But you keep holding yourself back for some reason. This is not because you are not ready to move. You definitely know that that is the right thing to do. Inhibition through comparison. So as I've started this content creation journey and I'm bringing you amazing stuff and all that, there are so many really great people in this same space who are doing very well. They are doing so well. And when you look at their numbers and their subscribers and all that, their subscriber count and all that, they are doing a great job and people are accepting whatever they are doing. Now, let's say because of them, I said, okay, I'm not going to put my idea out there or I'm not going to put my content out there because they are doing amazing. This is going to cause me to hesitate. I'm going to shrink. So you see others doing well in your space and you shrink because you think, okay, I don't match up to them. So I have to actually put this particular decision at bay. It disguises itself as logic, as if it's the right thing to do. So you stop yourself from acting because someone else has already done it better. Do you know the reason why you have to stop this particular inhibition? Now, when we have two individuals who are attempting to do something, there's no way they are going to do it the same way. People are going to do it differently. That will appeal to different sets of people. You see, as I'm talking right now, I'm someone who talks a little bit slowly. Some people might like that. When I see someone talking faster in the same arena I'm in, and say that, okay, that this person speaks faster, so I have to make sure I don't do whatever I want to do because I'm not necessarily good at it, it's going to impede my progress. So this particular inhibition is in a form of logic. It's disguised as logic. Okay, someone is doing better. So why do you still have to put yourself out there? There are so many people in this space. So why do you have to actually do what you also want to do? Yes, and this particular thing is going to inhibit you. Inhibition through comparison is something that is really scary, and it's something we have to deal with. This inhibition thing is going to be the reason why so many people are not going to accomplish whatever they want to accomplish in life. And it's high time you became self-aware of this particular inhibition thing. Yes, just imagine the amount of opportunities you are going to miss just because you are experiencing this inhibition episode. And people will not actually experience how good you are or how skilled you are at something just because you are in your shell, not putting yourself out there. Anytime you have an amazing idea, you know that this is an amazing idea, this is extremely great, I have to put it out there. Anytime you experience something like that, then comes the inhibition. What is going to tell you that, what if you get embarrassed? Or what if you get some kind of backlash because you put yourself out there? So this thing is something that we really have to deal with as a family. We have to deal with it because there were moments where I wanted to speak up, or I wanted to start a journey, even on YouTube here. And I realized that through childhood, I've experienced that several times because when I was a child, what was happening to me is I was a very timid person, very, very timid, very shy. And whenever I was asked a question in class, I used to talk very slowly. Yes. So whenever a teacher asks a question, let's say a new teacher comes to class and the teacher asks a question, and I have to actually put myself out there to talk my mind and all that, I would be timid. Okay. And all that. So all my friends would be laughing at me and be like, this guy behaves like a tortoise. And this is something that, yes, especially when you are at a formative stage and all that, it's going to get in your mind. It's going to get in your head. And you would realize that it's having an impact on you. But when you grow up to some stage, you are no more in that stage where you are being laughed at. But when you are asked to talk in public or you are asked to do something in public, you tend to hold back. Yes, and usually you'd want to become more comfortable. Sorry, you would want to become more comfortable or adjust more well to that particular public space before you speak out. Yes. And do you know what, ladies and gentlemen, you have to reclaim your power. That is it. That is the fact. You have to reclaim your power because until then, there is no way you are going to break free from inhibition. Inhibition is more or less like a cowardice move. Yes. I wouldn't say it's something that is going to mess you up or something like that. I wouldn't say it's something that we are conscious of. But you realize that anything at all you start attempting, even when you fear, you tend to gradually become more confident at it. Over some time, over a period of time, you become more confident at it. Yes, that is it. Think about it critically. There are several times that you were inhibiting yourself from a particular action, but you realize that all these actions that you actually implemented, regardless of the fear or the inhibition, all of a sudden you become more confident. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, this is the Mode channel. Once again, I've brought you another amazing content. Inhibition is not a good thing. It might be a protective mechanism, but you have so many ideas that you have to put out there. You can't afford to let inhibition actually break you down for one reason or the other. Do something, regardless of the fear or regardless of whatever you are going through. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Boache once again. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoy content like this, don't forget to subscribe, because about 98% of the people who have watched this content are not subscribers. You see, your subscription means so much to me, and don't forget to subscribe and click on the notification button to get updates on future uploads. Thank you for watching once again. Stay safe.